What's up, good people, and welcome back to my channel where we bond over our favorite TV shows, trending topics, and everything in between that we care about. So today, I am here with another video, of course, obviously. And today, I'm actually able to, or we are actually able to get a little insight into a question that I've had on my mind and been wondering about for quite a while. And that is pertaining to the whole saga with, Welcome to Sweetie Pies and the Tim Norman murder for hire situation for Andre Montgomery. And what I've been wondering is, because we haven't heard from him since last year, but I've been wondering, what is Charles Crenchaw up to? And what are his thoughts about what's happening with the whole situation? And I know because of the impending trial and all of that, and a lot of people are like, why aren't they speaking out? They can't. They can't. It's not a good idea for them to speak out prior to the trial. They could interfere with the trial evidence, et cetera, by doing that. So it's clear, but I've been wondering, like, what is he doing for a career, et cetera? The last time we heard from Charles was last year, I think that was, where he and Monique were at like a family get together of sorts. And they were just hanging out with friends and family and drinking and all of that. And there was some conversation with them talking to the people who were commenting, who were watching the IG Live. And there was a question about Sweetie Pies and was it coming back, etc. And at that time, they were saying that it was supposed, I think Monique was the one who said that they were actually supposed to start filming again. It was supposed to come back, or some version of it. And then all the stuff happened with Tim, and then she heard no more about it. So, and I also remember a rumor that one of the employees at that time, or a little bit before that, around the time Tim was arrested and stuff, was saying that camera crews were starting to come around again. So I think there's definitely, well, if Monique said it, I just believe what she said. But also, the backup of that employee, which I think that happened even before we heard Monique's confirmation, so to speak. So other than that, haven't heard from Charles, haven't seen Charles. He's not as active on social media from what I can tell. And so this is our first opportunity. And this clip here, I actually saw on Eat with Philly Phil's channel. So most of you like watch both of us. So, but for those of you who aren't familiar, check out Philly Phil. She definitely does in-depth coverage of the whole Tim Norman murder for hire trial and all things related to that. So check her out if you haven't already. And with that, let's get into this clip and let's see, and I'll give my little 2 cents once we see what Charles has to say, if anything. So this is truly a blind reaction. I didn't watch it at all, but let's get into it.
Right. No, I am not a food anymore. I now work for Nike Innovation. So I am in the factory.
You got a great personality.
Personality went down. I need to get back on live. I need to start posting more.
Yeah, man, the people love you. The people, you make people happy. You see me. I'm just smiling, and I'm light skinned. I don't smile like that.
Okay.
I'm trying to be tough like you.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Man. Yeah, your hair looks great. It looks good. You had yours before, right?
Yeah.
You did yours just like mine too. That's funny.
That is Tim.
We're twins.
Tim is still in jail, so.
Yeah, you gotta come out here and chill with me, man.
Look, I would love to go back to the big screen. I contacted Tyler Perry, and he didn't contact me back, so I'm not talking.
You need to spam. Who we got to spam to get you your own show?
I don't even know. You could spam on front. What was that? A year and a half ago.
Yeah. It will go better now though. Things are starting to get normal again.
Yeah. Well, too bad I spent most of that money. So,
all you got to do is show up.
Stuff.
Come back out to LA. All you got to do is show up. We'll make something happen.
Yeah, I definitely need to come back out to LA. At least to visit.
You still talk to Nat?
Tyler Perry, give Charles the job. Yeah, for real. For real. Please.
Yeah. In the
Food.
comments, drop what city you're at, so we know where we need to take Charles' food tour. We want
Exactly.
Charles to go on a food tour. Y'all can come have lunch with me and Charles. This actually my manager right here. If y'all didn't know.
Jordy was the one who actually introduced me to all my friends when I got to LA. He was the first friend I got. Tim told me I couldn't hang out with none of the employees.
Charles got me fired.
Like, how am I gonna find my people if I can't hang out with nobody?
Yeah, Charles got me fired, you know.
Charles, can I? Yeah, I can cook.
Oh, Charles
can
cook.
Go for the food tour. Okay, Oklahoma City. That's too close to home.
City, okay. Oh yeah.
Come to me. Kansas City. You definitely can come to me.
KC's cool.
You know, I used to live in Houston for a little bit. Houston got too many food choices as it is already. Jacksonville, Florida. I go there.
Florida fun. I was just in Miami last year.
You should have tried to open a restaurant. Was you on here? You must not have been on here a minute ago when I said I tried to open a restaurant in the middle of the pandemic and it didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't work at the time, but next time it's gonna work.
Yeah, the next time I'm working on it.
You still hanging out with the same people back in St. Louis?
Yeah.
You still hanging out with the same friends you had back in St. Louis the whole time?
You know, as you get older, friends go. So I kind of do more of my own thing, more working, trying to keep myself busy so I can never stop the grind. Just like LA, never stop the grind, trying to figure out what you want to do next,
right?
Where I want to go next.
In 2 years, Lord willing, say everything goes how you want it, where are you going to be? 2 to 5 years.
In 2 to 5 years, I've got a restaurant going. And actually, like, restaurants not the biggest thing. Hopefully, what I could do is I can get a restaurant going. If I can get a restaurant going, then I've got my stand for a reality TV show. You see what I'm saying? In order for me to get a TV show, I got to film me.
You're bigger than a restaurant, though. Restaurant is just a piece.
But a restaurant is what exactly? A restaurant is like my catapult.
Comment. I love your personality. Your personality, man.
I should go to acting school. Yeah, I do need to go back. But it would hurt to go to real acting school. You know what I'm saying? Get a couple of like it.
Good. Tyler Perry need to give bro a job. You didn't say though. Did you say what you trying to do in the next couple years?
Next couple years, like I said, I wanted to do the restaurant. Hopefully, get another show. Actually, for real, y'all, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a huge fan of being on TV. I liked it. Don't get me wrong. It's got a lot of perks, but it's got a lot of negatives. I mean, it's definitely an experience. Definitely something that I would never take back. But you got people that's real pushy. Like when Tim first went to jail, boy, I could not believe how many people was like, "You need to tell me what's going on." Like, first of all,
I don't even know y'all like that.
Yeah, for real, I don't know.
Nah, I do. I'm glad you have judgment.
A couple comments I'm just not gonna comment on, but I do agree. Just so y'all know.
Let me see.
I'm like, what is coming?
Yeah, exactly. I don't owe y'all a damn thing. But don't get me wrong. I love the shit out of a lot of people, a lot of great comments. But at the end of the day, like, if I ain't finna tell it, I'm not finna tell it. I tell it, you know, when it's time for me to say it, I say it.
And I love how that ended. Him saying, when it's time for me to tell it, I'll tell it. And I think that's perfect. Like, and I mean, I was going to say, I can't imagine how people would be in the comments demanding, you know, when it all first went down, that he tell them the dirt on how he feels and what happened and what didn't happen and all of that. I don't know. People be, being in a public space is, it's not for the faint of heart. I can tell you that much. It is not. But this was very interesting. And thanks, Philly Phil, like, for, you know, putting that up for us to view. But it was interesting. It's so many like layers, and I should have took notes and that's why I usually like kind of break things down, like interrupt, but I'm trying to recall all the pieces. So I guess where I will start is I can tell Charles is still Charles. And I get like, you got to do what you got to do as far as him, like he's working at Nike in the factory now. But the part that I found a little perplexing is the fact that he stated that he attempted to open up a restaurant during the pandemic. Number one, that shows that Charles still thinks like the Charles we are used to watching on Welcome to Sweetie Pies, because I don't think you thought that completely through, because people weren't out. But the other piece is you're working on opening a restaurant. He said he put a lot of money and lost a lot of money in it, so now he doesn't really have money like that anymore. My first thought was like, your aunt is Miss Robbie of Welcome to Sweetie Pies fame, and you also worked there, and you also helped manage, at least from TV, because we found out a lot of that wasn't real, but at least from TV, you helped manage multiple locations, and definitely the NoHo location in LA with Tim. And I think the Inglewood location too, like was he in Houston too? I can't remember now. I think he was in Houston too. But anyway, he did say he was in Houston. So I think he was there managing that restaurant, helping. And so my question is, and I remember, because I'm in some of those episodes now as I'm putting content together for you guys, where Ms. Robbie's having major issues with Charles and he's basically getting fired, from the restaurants because of Charles being Charles. I'm just wondering that at this point, Charles has to be in his 30s. Why isn't he back at the restaurants and using that as a way to help? Like Ms. Robbie's alone, like, she has other family members, but she doesn't have that like core person, to our knowledge, that we know of, I'll say. That core person who can help run her empire. And so I just question, why wouldn't Charles go into the restaurant business with Miss Robbie, work for her, and then work his way up the ranks? Like, he's been around forever. And Charles, we know for a fact, I don't know if he still is, but he was definitely one of Miss Robbie's favorite. I think next to Tim, it was him. Maybe Andre. Maybe Tim, Andre, then Charles. And the other two are unfortunately no longer an option. So I don't know. I was just, and I'm going on too long about it because I'm still like processing. Why the hell are you trying to open your own restaurant when your aunt is 80 something years old and running an established restaurant situation and needs help? Like, she could use that. The other piece though, that he stated, and then I was like, here's Charles being Charles. He said he don't really even care about opening the restaurant. He just sees the restaurant as a means to be able to get back on TV, because he would then be able to shop around a reality show. And that's when I was like, Charles, Charles needs help. And okay, so first of all, let's finish this. You don't need a restaurant to have a reality show. Charles has his own brand, identity, et cetera, et cetera. Part of the issue is that Charles didn't capitalize off of that when the show ended, because he was known enough that he could have parlayed that, if nothing more, he could have parlayed that into being a social media influencer. He's admitted himself, even me saying in the intro of this, Charles doesn't have a social media presence, not a real one. He has just about as much of a presence as us, everyday people who ain't been on TV like that. So that's part of the problem. He needs to be more active. And because of this whole, murder for hire thing and the Tim Norman crap, it does still have him on our radar. So this would still be a good time for him to get out there, and not by creating a restaurant, which is a whole headache in and of itself. Like, you don't need to do that if your ultimate goal is to end up on TV. And then he said that he reached out to Tyler Perry and Tyler Perry ignored him. I mean, you know, I'm not surprised, but I do want more for Charles. I do feel like he's a character in and of himself, and I believe he has something to offer in the area of entertainment. It just seems like Charles's biggest issue is Charles and Charles's lack of follow through. He shouldn't be working in a factory. And I know some people are gonna be like, ain't nothing wrong with working in a factory. There is not anything wrong with working in a factory. However, if that's not what your dream is, that's where we have a problem. And that's not where your dream is, and you have other options. If you put in the work, that's where the problem is. And that's what I see for Charles. So the other piece of it, which most of you are only interested in, I'll say some of you are only interested in, is what Charles had to say about Tim. And I wish, because it was some, you know, it was kind of edited and chopped up, the clip we watched, but I would have really have loved to have seen the particular comment that he may have been responding to. And you could tell at one point that Charles was so focused on the comments that he didn't even notice his friend was talking to him. He's like, what? But Charles let it be known. He said, I can't comment, or I'm not going to comment on what's being said, but just know I agree. So we can assume, because I didn't comb through the comments, but we can assume it's people saying that, you know, Tim's a horrible person or that he's guilty, et cetera, et cetera. And he's saying he agrees to that. So it'll be interesting. I kind of think that Charles may be one of the people who will actually come out and speak on this when he can, when this case is over and people are free to speak. I do believe he's going to be one of the people to actually speak on it. Yeah, I do think that he's going to be one of the people. Janae, I'm not too sure of, but I don't know. She could write a book or something. So, like, if people want to capitalize off of this, those who are closest to it, this would be once it's over, would be the time to do it for sure. Because people are still going to have so many questions regarding how this happens and who Tim really was, or how, did they know, did they think, did they suspect, could they ever see him doing something like that? All of those kind of questions, how he treat them, were they afraid that they were next, all of those things. And so we'll see what people have to say, because, we're very interested. But yeah, other than that, this was interesting. This tells me that we probably can expect to see more from Charles at some point in the future, when Charles decides to really work on capitalizing off of his brand. And even someone mentioned like he needs to go to acting school, and he's like, yeah, I need to pick that back up. It's like, you didn't even follow through with acting school. Part of the reason why he went to LA, besides the restaurant, was that he wanted to work on his acting career. He's been saying that for over a decade. He's been saying that he wanted to get into acting. I think he has the potential to do that on some level. Charles, get it together, man. Get it together. Man, if I had your platform. But with that being said, wishing Charles all the luck. Hope that whatever he needs, whatever that push, that drive, or whatever that he needs, that he gets it, and those opportunities and those doors open up for him, and that he tells us the tea on what really was going on with Tim all these years. So with that, that's all I have for this video. If you've made it to this point in the video, first of all, thank you. Please hit that like button below to help us grow. Also, if you're new to this channel or returning and you have not subscribed as of yet, this would be a great time to hit that subscribe button below to join one of the most evolved subscriber families in these YouTube streets. And also, don't forget that we have our VIP community, a way for you to communicate with me one-on-one so that you don't get lost in the comments if you want me to see them, because at this point we have so many that I cannot keep up with all of the comments, which is a blessing and a curse. But with that, if you want to make sure that I see your comments, the VIP community, texting me there is a great way for that to happen. And also learn some behind the scenes and some announcements and things of that nature. And also notifications of when I upload new videos will all happen there. So you can join by just texting "Hey Vell," and that makes you an official part of the VIP community. So with that, until next time, until I upload the next video, make sure to take care and be blessed. Peace.
Hey, poppin' like I'm supposed to. Watch out for the people that ain't close to. Speak a little something you could toast to. I ain't tryna hear about what you won't do. moving like I'm into. Hit the ground running like the rent do. Speak a little something that you're into. I ain't tryna hear about what you been through. Like hold up, say what's the hold up. I got the pack, who got the roll up? I'm tryna pull up. It seem like every time I show up, it gotta go up. See the drip, they see the glow up. Oh now they know us. See it's funny how my pockets out of shape, but I'm fit for the flex. Clear the phone call, hit my chick with a text. Parlay through the bird with my drip from the jets. Save a couple hundred by your with the rest. I